What's going on, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of the JuiceBox presented by LOCKCITY. It's Whitey here today. Happy Monday. Hopefully everyone's having a pretty decent start to the week. Unfortunately, on bets for yesterday's video, it looks like we went 1-2 overall. We did make up for it a little bit in the Discord, but we'll start with a recap here, and then we'll get into some picks for tomorrow. We got some pretty entertaining matchups on the board here. So in terms of the bracket overall for Stage 2 at ESL Pro League now, or whatever you want to call it, the table, this is now how we are looking. So Team Spirit and Falcons both improved to 3-0 today. They are now moving on to the playoffs. They have now qualified. Astralis and Gamer Legion both are now 0-3. They are out of the tournament. And then we have a flurry of teams either at obviously 2-1 or 1-2, given the fact that every team has now played 3 games up until this point. So in the 2-1 bracket, or whatever you want to call it, 2-1 pool, we have Team Vitality, we have FURIA, we have Aurora, we have 3D Max, we have Mouse, and we have G2. And then in the 1-2 pool, we have Na'Vi, we have Mongols, we have FaZe Clan, we have Gentlemates, Inner Circle, and HOTU. So obviously the teams that are down here in red, the teams that are 1-2, they are still facing elimination. As soon as you get 3 losses, you go home. So these are all elimination games. And then up top here, all of the 2-1 games, those are to advance to the playoffs. Any teams that go 3-1 will advance there for the playoffs. In terms of plays for today and how we ended up doing, obviously, those of you that watched the video yesterday, you'll know that we hit the Falcons and Spirit parlay. We also, in the Discord, called out Spirit minus 1.5 map spread. They ended up coming through on that, 2.5 times your money, 2 units paid 5 units. And similarly, we grabbed Falcons live map 3 on the 1x2. They had to win map 3 with it not going into overtime, which was the case. So 2 units there, paid 3.7 units. Those 2 plays more than made up for the fact that we unfortunately dropped the ball earlier this morning on our single and our other parlay, but we finished 3-2 overall on the day, up 3.72 units overall. Again, for those of you not in the Discord, we do obviously give out the plays here on the video, but there are more plays once we have the maps selected in the Discord. Discord is 100% free down at the bottom of the screen here, discord.gg/LockCity. We're not going to charge you for picks like all these other guys. Just come hop in, cash out with us. We have a nice CS2 chat in there. We're talking about the games all day long. So overall, what that improved us to is now looking like this: 26-15 overall. We are up 15.45 units, or $1,545 for you fellow $100 bettors. We'll take a look at the slate for tomorrow. Hop on over to HLTV. Obviously, with there only being 6 games, we are going without the early time slot there. So for me, the 4:30 a.m. time slot, which is nice. Games don't start till 7:30 a.m. for me now. But we got FURIA and Aurora and Na'Vi and HOTU kicking us off at 7:30. Then we got 3D Max and Mouse and Mongols and Gentlemates at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern. And we got Vitality, G2, and FaZe and Inner Circle closing off the day there tomorrow as the final 2 games. For those of you that watch the videos regularly, you know that all of the odds that will be discussed in today's video will be on Thunderpick.io, which is one of the top books in the world for esports betting. You can deposit on Thunderpick using crypto, credit card, Apple Pay, Visa Debit, or via their new gift card deposit, which allows you to purchase and deposit a Thunderpick gift card amount directly to your balance. And Thunderpick has lines for all of your favorite esports, including but not limited to CS2, League, Dota, Valorant, Overwatch, COD, Fortnite, Rocket League, and so much more. If you visit tinyurl.com/LockCityTP, you can get a 100% deposit match on your first deposit all the way up to $600 or whatever the equivalent is in your local currency. Any amount that you deposit up to $600 will get immediately matched by Thunderpick for you to be able to use for your esports picks. We've obviously been super profitable on CS2, but with that deposit bonus, you can always try your luck with some of your other favorites with that free money to play with. That's tinyurl.com/LockCityTP for a 100% deposit bonus at Thunderpick up to $600. Alrighty, so we are going to have 3 singles on the board for tomorrow. The only difference is instead of 2 unit plays like we've been doing throughout the course of the tournament, we're just going to do 1 unit plays for tomorrow. The slate seems a little bit sketchy, at least to me, but I have 3 that we've cooked up here for tomorrow, and then we might need to make some alterations depending on what's going on with HOTU here, or HOTU, however you want to say it, which we'll get into in a second. I think we'll cover that one first. So the first one, like I said, that we'll talk about here are going to be 2.20 times our money. I'm going to be going with HOTU map 1 winner. This is only if they have their full roster here. So HOTU played a game today. Obviously they played in ESL Pro League, but then in addition to that, they played Sangal. The roster that they put forward with this match, or for this match with Sangal, was like a coach, a manager, a bunch of people I've never really heard of. Hopefully that's not going to be the case here against Navi. I'm assuming HLTV is just a little bit glitched because they played with that roster. I'm assuming more recently. It looks like that match took place at 1 p.m. today. So after the other match. So I'm assuming it's a little bit of a glitch. HOTU's obviously going to have their regular 5 guys there as they've had all tournament. Those were the ones that were invited to the tournament. So I would imagine they're going to have their regular roster as such. I'm hoping that they pick Ancient. That's what this pick is revolving around. If 7:30 rolls around and they don't pick Ancient, or they don't have their roster for whatever reason, definitely catch this out, but I expect them to have their roster that they've been playing the tournament with. Those guys are already in Stockholm. They're not going to be playing with these 5. I can't imagine a world where that would be the case. They should have their 5 guys there, and I expect them to pick into Ancient. I could see them pick Mirage. I think Mirage would be a silly pick. I could also see them pick into Nuke because Navi has had a weaker Nuke as of recently. But I do like HOTU to win at least a map here. If they're going to win a map, it's going to be their map pick. I don't expect them to win this outright. I think Navi probably takes it given the fact that it's an elimination game. I don't think they're going to fumble to HOTU, but I do think HOTU wins a map. I do like them to win their map pick. I'm hoping it's Ancient. It could be Nuke. It could obviously be Mirage as well, but I'm going to be anchoring this on Ancient. If it's not Ancient, I'm very, very likely going to cash that out, and I will let y'all know in the Discord. But that's going to be my first play. That's going to be 1 unit to pay 2.2 units. The next one that we'll talk about, we'll also do the other 731, is going to be Aurora and FURIA, over 2.5 total maps. So I'll go over to Aurora and FURIA here. Some pretty glaring differences in the map pool here. I do think Aurora would win Dust 2. I do think Aurora would win Train. I do think Aurora would win Overpass as well. On the FURIA side of things, yeah, the 3 that they're better at, they probably take. Inferno obviously would be close. I think Mirage would be a little bit closer than what the map pool states here. And then Dust 2 would obviously be very close. I would expect Aurora probably to pick into Dust 2. I would expect them to win Dust 2, and I would expect FURIA to pick into Nuke, and I expect them to win Nuke. So I'm going to go over 2.5 maps for this one. Again, it's only going to be a 1 unit play. All 3 of these are only 1 unit plays for tomorrow, but I'm going to go over 2.5 maps, 1.85 times your money. 1 unit's going to pay obviously 1.85 units. And the last one here is going to be Vitality and G2, map 1, over 21.5 total rounds. My logic behind this is that G2 is going to get the first map pick. G2 I'm hoping is going to pick Train. So we'll slide down here. I mean, there could be a couple of options here. If we look at what's happened between these teams recently in the best of 5 at Blast London, G2 is able to win Train, Inferno, and Dust 2. I don't think they would be able to win Train or Dust 2 as easily as they did when they met Vitality there at the Blast London final. I think you could consider some of those flukes. Vitality did beat them on Train the last time they played on Train. It was 13-10. I do think that would be super competitive. Both of these teams are really wanting to go 3-1 and move forward to the playoffs. Nobody wants to go down to that 2-2 bracket where you're facing elimination on the final day. G2 is probably most likely going from 2-0 to 2-2 here. But I think it's going to be close. I do think they're going to put up a fight. I expect them to pick Train. Again, obviously would not be surprised if they pick Inferno. But what we're asking for here is over 21.5 total maps, or total rounds, sorry, not total maps. Over 21.5 total rounds. So we need both sides to win at least 9. I think that's a gimme in this matchup. Very high stakes matchup. Looking forward to the playoffs. 1.88 times your money. 1 unit's going to pay obviously 1.88 units. So those are going to be the 3 that I'm rocking with for tomorrow. Obviously, we still have our Spirit tournament winner down here, which is aging like fine wine. They're 3-0, looking forward to the playoffs. They're looking really well together. So I wish they would have let me put more than a unit on that at the beginning of the tournament, but so far so good. Hopefully I don't have to bite my tongue on that as the tournament progresses. But yeah, these are the 3 we'll be rocking with for tomorrow. Leave a like on the video, comment, subscribe if you like the content here. We will be back again tomorrow with some more CS content for the final day of stage 2. And then of course, we will be looking forward to the playoffs as well. Thank y'all for listening. Take care. See you tomorrow. Peace.